What's going on, everybody? It's the Bulls Show, aka Aiden, and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, today we had a game against the Memphis Grizzlies on the second night of a back-to-back, and in all honesty, things just happened so fast, and in the end, the Chicago Bulls choked a performance in the third and fourth quarter that led to Memphis comfortably beating the Chicago Bulls. Memphis have been struggling, in all fairness, and I think you could see firsthand, even in their win, how they are struggling and why they are struggling, but nevertheless, at home for Memphis, they got the job done against the Chicago Bulls, and we'll talk all about it in this video. Before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Bulls Show, turn notifications on, and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Chicago Bulls overall game today. Who was your player of the game? Your thoughts and opinions on how well or how poorly the Bulls played in your eyes. We lost this game 104 to 89, and honestly, it happened in the blink of an eye for me. I don't really know how we ended up, I guess, blowing the lead as quickly as we did, in all fairness. Here's what happened from my perspective, right? Because there's a saying that I like to do on this channel when I'm making a joke about how the Bulls give up leads. It's like you're going to the toilet, you're going to the restroom, the Bulls are up by 10, you come back, the Bulls are down by 10. That's really, again, that's how the Bulls have been all season. They just simply give up way too many leads, and sometimes it's extremely quick. Literally, that's what happened in this game for me. I went to the restroom, Bulls were up by 3. I come back, probably like a minute, 2 minutes later, the Bulls are down by 10, and I could not believe the Bulls choked it in that quick succession. So I can't tell you what went wrong. I can't tell you who's to blame. I can't tell you all these things. You're going to have to tell me, because I wasn't there. I genuinely don't know how the Bulls collapsed as bad as they did. But in all fairness, I always thought throughout the game, yes, the Bulls had a massive surge, especially offensively. Zach LaVine making some big threes, Vucevic making a lot of his points as well. The Bulls surged in this game in the second and third quarters for sure. But to be honest, the way that I always saw it, Memphis were the much grittier team, the much more physical team, the better defensive team, and they grinded the game out, which is, again, that's their motto. That's what they do. That's what they're known for. So I can't say I'm surprised that the Bulls lost this game, but at the same time, I am surprised by how quick we gave up a lead, and again how badly we gave up the lead as well in order for us to fight back and try to come back and win the game by the end. Wasn't meant to be today. I thought Memphis played the better basketball. I thought Memphis in general were the better overall team in the game. I thought from the very beginning we looked scared of Memphis, to be honest. We were hesitant to take it up in the paint because we knew Jaren Jackson was there to block shots. I thought they forced us all the way out to the three-point line, and the Bulls are not typically a great three-point shooting team. And it looked like, again, we kind of understood the assignment now of who we're facing and how we can attack them. But again, by the third and fourth quarters, that fear and that, I guess, X factor that Memphis had that the Bulls didn't really came back into this game, and they ended up winning it. But in terms of who's to blame, if it's Zach LaVine, or if it's a Vucevic, or if it's an Alex Caruso, if it's any of our starters or our bench, I can't tell you that, because it really was just like that for me. And the game was gone, and you just, alright, well, we're winning with this time out. I'm preparing for talking about a Bulls win to all of a sudden coming back and the Bulls are down by 10, and now I have to prepare for talking about a Bulls loss. And they both take different approaches. So again, I don't know what to say. I don't know how it happened, but it doesn't really matter how it happens. The fact of the matter is, it did happen. The Bulls choked this game. We were up in the third, we were up in the fourth, and the Bulls choked it. And we have to take that on the chin, and we've got to move on into that next one. And it's not a surprise that the Bulls have choked games before. They've done it a lot this season, especially when they're up. They are up by big, or they are up by double digits. They do let those leads slip away in a blink of an eye. So what I did see from the moment that we were down by 10, I think the Bulls were rushing into things a little bit too much. It looks like the pressure really got to them. Zach LaVine, it looked like, again, for most of this game, Zach was calm, cool, and collected, in my opinion at least. He wasn't rushing into anything. He was taking his shots, some of them bad, some of them good, but you never felt that the pace of the game got to him. You never felt that he was totally out of control. In the fourth quarter, I saw Zach LaVine just going at 100 miles per hour, not only in his head, but the way that he was moving as well. And I think the game and the pace got to him. So I feel like Zach LaVine is partly to blame, but I can't necessarily recollect anything that he actually did. But if I had to take a guess, that's where my mind is going towards Zach LaVine. Also, I'm assuming big turnovers got into this as well. Fouls, again, there's probably the same old stuff that we've always seen with the Bulls probably got into this, and why we ended up losing the game in the fourth, and we lost a big lead in the fourth, or a small lead that led to a big lead for Memphis in the fourth. So I'm assuming that's where things are going to go down. I'm assuming that's where the game was lost for the Chicago Bulls. But again, we just got to learn from this. I don't know if we can. Again, it seems like any time we have a chance to climb into 500, we hit a barrier. It's like we hit a wall, and we can't seem to break through that barrier. We can't seem to break through that wall and finally just resurrect our season. It feels like we're being held down by bad performances every now and then, and that is something that you don't want to see. But you have to move on. You have to keep on going, ladies and gentlemen. You can't stop now. Do not get deflated. If you're a Bulls player, do not get deflated by this game. Do not feel defeated by this game. Do not feel upset. You should feel upset by this game, to be honest. You can't choke a lead and expect to not be upset about it. But again, don't let this affect your next performances, because that chance is still there for you. You're only 2 games below 500 now. So do not let a game like this against the Memphis Grizzlies on the second night of a back-to-back affect your performance in the next game. And that's what we've seen. 3-game win streaks, 3-game losing streaks. When we lose games, it does feel like it takes a massive effect on us that leads into future games. And it takes a while to build ourselves out of it. And then we go back to positivity, and great, the Bulls are winning again. It just kind of feels like that's how our season has gone. So again, that's the next barrier that we've got to overcome. Making sure that these performances and this Bulls team can recover quickly from a very bad situation, which was this game against Memphis. Fair play to Memphis. Again, they've been struggling in all fairness as well. They've won apparently 1 out of their last 8 games. They've had obviously big injuries to talk about as well. Steven Adams is huge for the way that they play, and they're still, I believe, top 3, top 4, maybe even second in the Western Conference. They're a great team, and we lost to a great team and great players. Ja Morant, MVP level player. Again, this is not a bad team that we versed and we lost to, but at the same time, when you see the Bulls come back the way that they did, but you also see them fall the way that they did, I think it sums up how the season has gone for the Chicago Bulls in total. That's just really how it is. And I think Memphis overall were the better team on the night. Simple as that. Let's go into that must improve and that player of the game category. My must improve is kind of the whole team, if I'm being honest. Again, I felt like from the very get-go of this game, this team was not ready to play. It felt extremely intimidated by what Memphis had to offer. It felt like they were scared of the Memphis Grizzlies. And yes, they overcame their fears very quickly in the second quarter and whatnot, but that's how it felt in my eyes. That's how I saw this game in my perspective. It looked like they didn't want to attack them. It looked like they were hesitant to really attack the paint at all, and they wanted to shoot those threes and those mid-ranges, and that's really all that they did. Also, you got to understand the fact that the Bulls did not have DeMar DeRozan either. That's a 26 point per game scorer that you're missing on this team, and one of our closers. So again, there is a lot of things that didn't go our way in this game. I was very surprised to see DeMar DeRozan out, but that's just how it is sometimes. You have to move on from that situation. But altogether, I would say the must improve is the whole team. I felt like it was a team effort for why if we had won this game, it's a team effort, but if we had lost this game, it's also a team effort as well. But my player of the game will go to Nikola Vucevic. An incredible game this time out, and again, I really think he's been, for the most part, has been our go-to guy recently, and I'm not upset about that whatsoever, because at the end of the day, he creates unique mismatches that forces people to double team. People double team Vucevic. You got guys like Ayo and Kobe and Pat and Zach and everybody else that can get a little bit of more space and better shots to take. And when they're not double teaming, well, Vuce has been dominant in the paint pretty much the whole season, really. Again, he's versing the best shot blocker in the league today, and I thought he had a couple of great, obviously he got blocked a couple of times, the one in the first quarter, we can't forget that was a big block, but for the most part he did very solid against him. And again, it's something that we need to keep on seeing from Vucevic. Do not stop attacking the paint and doing your business from there, and do not stop making the right plays on offense. A very high IQ player Nikola Vucevic is. Altogether though, we are back to 2 games below 500. Our record is 26 and 28. A bit disappointing in all fairness about that situation. Again, you win this game, you're 500, and then you have a big opportunity against our next opponents in the Brooklyn Nets to battle into obviously above 500 range, which is the first time we've probably had that since the beginning of the season. So this was a big game, and we did let it slip away, but sometimes, again, you got to take it on the chin and you got to keep on fighting. Our next game against Brooklyn will be a very interesting one. This is a new look Brooklyn Nets team. They don't have Kyrie Irving anymore. They have Spencer Dinwiddie. They have a very different team. Now, two things can happen with this Brooklyn Nets team. Either one, if Kyrie really was that toxic problem that everybody thinks that he is, well, then you should see Brooklyn play a little bit better. Now, obviously, again, there's going to be a learning curve and an adjustment period for Brooklyn for sure. But in the long term, you expect Brooklyn to play better if everybody thought Kyrie was the problem. Spencer Dinwiddie has always played great for Dallas. Every time Luka has been out for Dallas, Spencer Dinwiddie was the guy on that team. And I think he played very phenomenal as the #1 option when Luka was out. But two, since Kyrie, in my opinion, is the better player, if Kyrie's not that toxic attraction or that toxicity that lies within an NBA team, then Brooklyn will play worse. And Brooklyn will not be the same team that we versed over the last 2 games. And to be fair, we've won both of those games. So, again, you're going to see very different things from Brooklyn, in my opinion. A little bit of an unprecedented or unpredictable situation for the Bulls to be in as they verse this Brooklyn Nets team. But a team with Kevin Durant is always a team to be very, very worried about. You cannot take this game lightly. You cannot slack off. Yes, we have some clear mismatches in there. Of course, we can abuse our center position as we did in the last 2 games, and hopefully that can be enough to seal us a win with our matchups and how we can exploit them. So I'm looking forward to the game. Obviously, we'll wait and see what will end up happening and how the result will go. But I want to thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. Again, I apologize. I apologize for going to the restroom and not actually watching the Bulls collapse. Maybe that's why I'm not as upset as I should be, because I genuinely, honestly, it literally was like a minute and I did not see a thing. I did not see us go down by 10. It was so bad. Again, like, I make that joke for the sake of a joke, just because I want to make fun of the Bulls in some ways because of how disastrous they play. Today, it was literal. And I did not see it. I did not see it with my own eyes. And I apologize for that. But again, you just never expect it. You just never expect it. But it is what it is. Have a wonderful and safe day. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay tuned for more. Take care. And peace.